Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks to Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Dissanayake, assures to provide all necessary assistance for relief and rescue efforts under Operation Sagar Bandhu. India's National Investigation Agency conducts search at several locations in Jammu and Kashmir and Uttar Pradesh, seizes incriminating material in Delhi terror blast case. Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss peace talks. Ukraine expresses willingness to accept revised proposals, while Russia's position still not clear. Trump holds talks with top advisors on Venezuela as Maduro rejects what he calls a slaves' peace amid mounting fears of military action. US confirms Admiral ordered second strike on alleged drug port. Prime Minister Narendra Modi assured India full assistance to Sri Lanka in a telephonic conversation with Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Dissanayake on Monday. Prime Minister Modi expressed heartfelt condolences for the widespread devastation caused by Cyclone Tivu and the tragic loss of lives. He conveyed that the people of India stand in firm solidarity and support with the people of Sri Lanka in this hour of need. Prime Minister assured President Dissanayake of India's continued support to Sri Lanka under the ongoing Operation Sagar Bandhu, providing rescue and relief to distressed persons. He assured that India, in line with its vision Mahasagar and its established position as a first responder, will continue to extend all necessary assistance in the coming days as Sri Lanka undertakes rehabilitation efforts, resumes public services and works towards restoring livelihoods across the impacted regions. Sri Lankan President Dissanayake conveyed his deep gratitude for India's assistance in the wake of the disaster and appreciated the swift deployment of rescue teams and relief material. He also conveyed the appreciation of the people of Sri Lanka for India's timely and effective response efforts. In the wake of Cyclone Ditwa, India launched Operation Sagar Bandhu on 28 November 2025 to provide urgent search and rescue and humanitarian assistance, and we'll get you the details on that. In coordination with the Sri Lankan authorities, emergency rations from 2 Indian Navy ships in Colombo deployed 3 Indian Air Force aircraft for airlifting another 31.5 tons of relief materials, including 2 Bhishma cubes along with 5 persons medical team for on-site training and 80 persons special urban search and rescue teams of the National Disaster Response were set to assist in rescue efforts and dispatch another 12 tons of relief supplies on board Indian Navy ship Sukanya. A total of 53 tons of relief material has been handed over. Chetak helicopters from INS Vikrant and Mi-17 helicopters of the Indian Air Force, in coordination with the Sri Lankan Air Force, conducted extensive rescue operations. Rescued persons included nationals of Sri Lanka, India, Germany, Slovenia, United Kingdom, South Africa, Poland, Belarus, Iran, Australia, Pakistan and Bangladesh. NDRF teams have been carrying out search and rescue operations in various severely affected and isolated regions of Sri Lanka. A total of 121 persons have been rescued and assisted in these combined operations, which are continuing. A total of around 1,500 stranded Indians already brought back. The remnant of cyclonic storm Ditwa remained practically stationary close to Chennai coast and is expected to recurve and weaken into a depression. In a post on X, India Met Department said the deep depression over west central and adjoining areas of southwest Bay of Bengal and North Tamil Nadu and South Andhra Pradesh coast remained practically stationary during past 6 hours. The minimum distance of the center of the deep depression from North Tamil Nadu Puducherry coast is about 35 kilometers and is very likely to recurve slowly southwestwards and weaken into a depression during the next 12 hours. The system is being monitored by the Doppler weather radars at Chennai and Sri Harikota. Meanwhile, schools and colleges across South India's Chennai, Tiruvallur and Kanchipuram districts will remain closed on Tuesday following forecast of heavy rain triggered by Cyclone Ditwa. The decision was taken by district authorities late on Monday as a precautionary measure. Officials said the holiday has been declared to ensure student safety amid the possibility of intense rainfall and waterlogging. Authorities have urged residents to remain cautious, avoid unnecessary travel and follow further advisories issued by the state government and disaster management agencies. The National Investigation Agency (NIA) conducted searches at multiple locations in Jammu and Kashmir and Uttar Pradesh in connection with investigations in the Delhi car blast case. According to the NIA, 8 locations in Shopian, Kulgam, Pulwama districts of Jammu and Kashmir and 1 location in Lucknow were searched. NIA conducted extensive searches at the premises of prime accused Dr. Muzammil Shakil and Dr. Shaheen Saeed in Al-Falah University complex and other places in Haryana's Faridabad last week. This is the second time in a week that the premises of the main accused in the case were raided. In a press release, NIA said that a huge quantity of cash, foreign currency, gold and other incriminating materials were seized during those searches, and the same are being minutely examined to unravel the conspiracy that culminated in the blast. So far, the anti-terror agency has arrested 7 key accused. The NIA teams are questioning the arrest accused while continuing to pursue various leads in connection with the November 10 blast outside the Red Fort in Delhi. 11 people were killed and several others injured in the deadly terror attack. In a statement, the NIA said that it continues to work closely with various state police forces to track and arrest every member of the terrorist module involved in the bomb attack. Now, Indian Army on Monday successfully test-fired a BrahMos supersonic cruise missile over the Bay of Bengal. The long-range precision strike was carried out by a BrahMos unit of the Southern Command with support from the Andaman and Nicobar Command. The missile hit its target accurately, showing that its guidance and control systems are working well. The Army said the test met all its goals and proved that its BrahMos units are ready for real-time missions. Southern Command Chief Lieutenant General Dheeraj Seth praised the successful launch, calling it an important step in strengthening the Army's long-range strike capability. The test also highlights the reliability of India's indigenous missile systems and supports the country's push for self-reliance under Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. Moving on, the 4th edition of Kashi Tamil Sangamam is beginning today, highlighting the deep civilizational and cultural ties between Tamil Nadu and Kashi. Centered on the theme "Let us learn Tamil Karkalam," this year's edition places Tamil language learning at its core. Key initiatives include Tamil Karkalam, that is Tamil teaching in Varanasi schools, Tamil Karpom, that is study tours for 300 students from the Kashi region to learn Tamil, and the Sage Agastya vehicle expedition, which retraces the ancient cultural route from Tenkasi to Kashi. The extensive and grand program Kashi Tamil Sangamam was started in 2022 by Prime Minister Modi. The cultural and emotional bond that this event established between North and South India has continued to grow stronger. This time as well, 7 such groups are coming, comprising 1,400 delegates. These groups will visit Varanasi, Prayagraj and Ayodhya, and in Kashi they will tour major cultural and spiritual sites such as Kashi Vishwanath Temple, Kedar Ghat, Sarnath and Tamil heritage pockets. In each edition, different groups from Tamil Nadu, including students, teachers, writers, spiritual leaders and people associated with literature and crafts, have been participating. And the winter session of Parliament opened on a stormy note, with proceedings stalled as the opposition raised uproar over the special intensive revision of electoral rules. The ruckus forced repeated adjournments in the Lok Sabha even as key bills were introduced and Manipur GST Second Amendment Bill passed amidst the din. The issue echoed in the Rajya Sabha as well, setting the stage for a contentious start to the session.
The opening day of the winter session of Parliament saw stalling of proceedings. As soon as the lower house of Indian Parliament, the Lok Sabha, met for the day, opposition created ruckus on the issue of SIR, leading to the house being adjourned. Lok Sabha Speaker also had a word of advice for the protesting parliamentarians.
मेरा आग्रह है कि आप सदन चलाने में सहयोग करें। मैं आपके हर मुद्दों पर चर्चा करने को तैयार हूं। सदन नहीं चलाना चाहते, जनता ने आपको नारेबाजी करने के लिए नहीं भेजा है, सदन चलाने के लिए भेजा है।
Ruckus continued by opposition after the House business began once again in the afternoon, leading to stalling of proceedings.
ये लोकतंत्र बचाने के लिए जो आह्वान हो रहा है उनका, तब लोकतंत्र मजबूत होगा जब हमारा वोट डालने का अधिकार निष्पक्ष और हमारे वोट डालने के अधिकार को न छीना जाए।
हमारी अपोजिशन पार्टियां अपने काम नहीं करके, जनता की मुद्दे यहाँ पे नहीं उठा के पॉजिटिव क्रिटिसिज्म करिए, सरकार की आप अगर खामियां हैं वो दिखाइए, डिस्कशन करिए, वही तो काम है। नाटक करने की जगह तो ये नहीं है।
Amidst the din, two key bills, the Central Excise Amendment Bill 2025 and Health Security and National Security Cess Bill 2025 were introduced. Amidst the sloganeering, Manipur Goods and Services Tax Second Amendment Bill 2025 was tabled in the House for passing. The bill was finally passed amidst the ruckus. President's rule is imposed in the present time in Manipur, and this bill replaces the ordinance.
Therefore, sir, that these amendments are carried out in the Manipur State GST Act as well, so that taxpayers in Manipur also benefit from these changes.
While opposition raised the issue of SIR in the afternoon in the upper house of Indian Parliament, the Rajya Sabha.
All opposition party leaders met, discussed, and we should take this SIR matter first, and otherwise we all will have to protest against this.
The only thing I'm referring to today is, please give some time. While there are other business which are listed can be taken up, the demand which you have put forward has not been rejected.
The first day of the winter session saw the SIR issue being raised by the opposition in both the houses. It is yet to be seen whether, on this issue, any consensus is reached between the ruling side and the opposition, or the deadlock continues. With Shailendra Mishra, Anuj Yadav's report for DD India.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday expressed deep concern over the health of former Bangladesh Prime Minister Khaleda Zia. PM Modi in a social media post said, and I quote, "Deeply concerned to learn about the health of Begum Khaleda Zia, who has contributed to Bangladesh's public life for many years. Our sincere prayers and best wishes for her speedy recovery. India stands ready to extend all possible support in whatever way we can," unquote. And the Bangladesh Nationalist Party on Tuesday conveyed its sincere gratitude to Prime Minister Modi for his message expressing concern over the deteriorating health of former Bangladesh Prime Minister and BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia. In a post on X, the party said it deeply appreciates this gesture of goodwill and the expression of readiness to extend support, acknowledging Prime Minister Modi's remarks, wishing her a swift recovery. All right, still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Peru landslide sinks boats in Amazon region river, 12 people dead, dozens missing, rescue efforts underway. And India began FIA Junior Women's Hockey World Cup campaign with a dominating win over Namibia.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. US President Donald Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff is traveling to Moscow to present a peace plan proposal to Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin on Monday said a meeting between Witkoff and Putin was scheduled for Tuesday. The talks between Putin and Witkoff will focus on the 19-point peace plan to end the conflict in Ukraine. The Ukraine has expressed its willingness to accept the revised proposals. Russia has not made its position clear yet. Witkoff is traveling to Putin a day after taking part in talks with a high-level Ukrainian delegation in Florida. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron and his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky launched a flurry of diplomatic activity during hours-long talks at the Elysee Palace in Paris on Monday. Macron said he hoped that ongoing talks around ending the conflict in Ukraine could be a turning point for both the Ukrainians and Europe's own security situation. While Zelensky said that Russia has recently stepped up missile and drone strikes on his country to break the will of Ukrainians to resist Moscow. Zelensky's visit to Paris followed a meeting between Ukrainian and US officials in Florida on Sunday, which US Secretary of State Marco Rubio described as productive. Now, US President Donald Trump held talks on Monday with top advisors to discuss the pressure campaign on Venezuela, among other topics. The official, speaking on condition of anonymity, said the Oval Office meeting included senior members of Trump's national security team. No details of the talks were immediately available. Earlier on Sunday, Trump confirmed that he had spoken to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, but Trump declined to provide details of the conversation. Meanwhile, the White House said on Monday that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth authorized an admiral to conduct the strikes that killed 11 people on a vessel from Venezuela, allegedly carrying illegal narcotics. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt told reporters the admiral approved a second strike on the boat and was well within his legal right to do so.
President Trump and Secretary Hegseth have made it clear that presidentially designated narco-terrorist groups are subject to lethal targeting in accordance with the laws of war. With respect to the strikes in question on September 2nd, Secretary Hegseth authorized Admiral Bradley to conduct these kinetic strikes. Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law, directing the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat to the United States of America was eliminated.
And US President Donald Trump will host the leaders of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo on Thursday to sign a peace agreement. The meeting is expected to build on a US brokered peace deal reached in June and signed by the two countries' foreign ministers and an economic framework agreed on in November. The Rwanda-backed M23 rebel group staged a lightning advance in eastern Congo this year, seizing the region's two largest cities and raising fears of a wider conflict.
On Thursday, President Trump will host the presidents of the Republic of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo to sign the historic peace and economic agreement that he brokered.
Now, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said on Monday that a recent MRI conducted on President Donald Trump was preventative in nature and revealed that he was in good cardiovascular health. Speaking to reporters at a press briefing at the White House, Leavitt said Trump's cardiovascular system shows excellent health and his abdominal imaging is also perfectly normal.
Overall, his cardiovascular system shows excellent health. His abdominal imaging is also perfectly normal. All major organs appear very healthy and well perfused. Everything evaluated is functioning within normal limits with no acute or chronic concerns. In summary, this level of detailed assessment is standard for an executive physical at President Trump's age and confirms that he remains in excellent overall health.
And Donald Trump underwent a magnetic resonance imaging scan during a recent medical evaluation but did not disclose the purpose of the procedure, which is not typical for standard checkups. The lack of details raised questions about whether full information regarding the president's health is being released in a timely fashion by the White House. Moving on, at least 12 people, including 3 children, died on Monday when a landslide sank 2 boats docked at a river port in central Peru, with dozens of others missing, officials said. The country's National Emergency Operations Center said on X the landslide was caused by erosion of the bank of Ucayali River, the headwater of the Amazon. According to the Navy officials, rescue operations have been hindered by the fast-flowing river waters, while authorities said the injured have been taken to hospital, while National Police and the Peruvian Navy look for more survivors. And the United Arab Emirates is celebrating its 53rd National Day, Eid al-Ittihad, marking the historic unification of the Emirates in 1971 under the theme Spirit of the Union. The day commemorates the formation of federation by Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Al Quwan and Fujairah under the leadership of the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, with Ras Al Khaimah joining in February 1972 to complete the 7 Emirate Union. Festivities are taking place across the country, with the official ceremony in Al Ain being live streamed to designated viewing zones in all Emirates. Celebrations include concerts, heritage exhibitions and fireworks at major landmarks, while cultural events at Al Shingdah Museum and Hatta Heritage Village highlights traditional Emirati customs alongside contemporary achievements. In the 4-day weekend, residents and citizens are participating. On the eve of the celebrations, the Burj Khalifa was illuminated in the national colours, adding to the atmosphere across Dubai's landmarks. Alright, sports updates now. India's women's cricketers Sneha Rana, Renuka Singh and Pratika Rawal were promoted to the rank of officer on special duty spots by the Ministry of Railways after their ICC Women's ODI World Cup triumph earlier this year. All 3 players will be entitled to the pay and benefits of Group B gazetted officer under level 8 of the pay matrix as per the 7th CPC. This initiative of the Railway Sports Promotion Board will provide financial security to the cricketers and entrust them with administrative responsibilities. Earlier in November, the 3 players were felicitated at Rail Bhavan by Union Minister for Railways Ashwini Vaishnav. And the Indian junior women's hockey team began their FIA Junior Women's World Cup campaign with a comprehensive 13-0 win against Namibia in Santiago, Chile on Monday. Hina Bano and Kanika Sivach scored hat-tricks, while Sakshi Rana bagged a brace. Binima Dhan, Sonam, Sakshi Shukla, Ishika and Manisha also got their names on the score sheet. India earned a total of 13 penalty corners and converted 5, with 3 of those coming in the 3rd quarter. With this victory, India climbed to the top of the table as per a release from Hockey India. India will take on Germany in its next fixture on Wednesday, followed by its final pool match against Ireland on Friday. And the Indian women's hockey chief coach Harendra Singh on Monday decided to step down from the coach of India women's hockey team owing to personal reasons. Harendra, who previously coached the United States men's hockey team, assumed the role of chief coach in April 2024. Prior to that, he coached Indian junior men's team, which won the World Cup in 2016 in Lucknow. The Indian women's team's performance has been disappointing over the past year. The team recorded just 2 wins in 16 matches in FIH Pro League 2024-25 and failed to qualify for the next season. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.